Avalanches are one of the most destructive natural disasters, but one that is also easy to forget about. Since most people don't live in places where they occur, they're often out of sight and out of mind. For the people in this video, seeing one for themselves quickly turned from exciting to terrifying. Thankfully, everybody survived without injury, from a group of skiers caught right in the path to a controlled avalanche that went wrong. Here are 5 monster avalanches that were caught on camera. Tucked away in the French Alps lies the La Grave ski resort. La Grave is not your average ski resort. It is unpisted, which means that there aren't marked trails for people to ski down. There's also no formal avalanche control, which you'd typically expect. The area is considered dangerous to ski in unless you have a guide with you, and is really only visited by extreme skiers who need a serious challenge. For reference, the vertical drop is roughly 1.5 miles long. In March of 2015, a group of skiers and snowboarders were visiting the mountain. During one of their runs down, they stopped and noticed an avalanche forming off in the distance. This is where the video begins. At first, they seem excited to witness this for themselves, but this all changed when they realized that it was headed right for them.
C'est impressionnant. C'est bon, reste ça, je filme. Ah non, c'est bon, ne vous inquiétez pas. Ah ouais, je filme, moi. C'est énorme. Wouah, putain.
What was originally a clear and sunny day quickly turned into a terrifying moment with visibility near zero. Thankfully, they were far enough away where all they had to deal with was a light dusting, and in the end had great spirits about the whole ordeal. This avalanche appears to be what's known as a powder snow avalanche. It's a type of avalanche where the snow grains are suspended by turbulence. They're kind of like dust storms in the desert. They can be formed by any kind of snow, and they can be started by anything. Usually, however, powder snow avalanches happens with fresh, dry powder, like the kind you see in this video. Powder snow avalanches can exceed speeds of 190 miles per hour and can move huge masses of snow. They aren't always as harmless as they look. Their flows can travel long distances, even across flat surfaces. They can even go uphill for short distances, propelled by their previous momentum. Luckily, none of these skiers were injured by this one. Lenin Peak is located on the border of Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan, and in case you couldn't tell from the name, has origins that date back to Soviet times. Lenin Peak is a popular destination for serious mountain climbers since it's 23,406 feet tall. It's the most popular mountain to climb in that height range because it's not considered to be very technical. But while it may not be a technical climb, there is always the risk of an avalanche. And the people in this video got a big reminder of that fact. What starts off as a small tumble quickly escalates into a full-on avalanche, headed straight for the people below.
Oj, helvete, kolla de där nere. Oh shit.
Oh my gosh, the people don't.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Shit.
No.
Shit. Åh fy fan.
No.
Oh, helvete.
Fuck.
Ah.
Попало 7 человек.
Ну så jävla...
Так, берем все лопаты и вперед. Все лопаты берем.
Oh my god.
Fy fan. Åh helvete. Och där var vi för typ
Все берем лопаты.
en halvtimme sedan. Och så jävulst. Åh helvete. Ja, det var det sista med det här.
All 8 climbers who were caught in this avalanche actually ended up completely uninjured, although they did lose some of their equipment. Avalanches can move a lot of snow around, and if you lose something under there, it's unlikely that you're ever going to see it again. Following this extremely close call, their expedition was cancelled and continued at a lower altitude. If you ever find yourself on Lennon Peak, it's best to just play it safe. In 1990, Lennon Peak was the site of one of the deadliest avalanches ever. An entire mountain climbing camp was wiped out when an earthquake triggered a massive avalanche that buried everything. As impressive as the avalanche in this video is, it pales in comparison to how bad things can really get. Thankfully, everybody in this video survived uninjured. Kapuchi Glacier Lake in Nepal has the unique distinction of being the lowest glacier lake in the world, at just 8,353 feet above sea level. At a quick glance, the lake looks calm and peaceful. Clearly, this would make a great place to record yourself playing guitar. Our guitar player, however, doesn't even have time to play one chord before he hears yelling and turns around. Way up at the top of the mountain, an avalanche is forming and heading straight for the lake.
ठ्याक्कै हिउँ पहिरो आयो माथि इपिक हिउँ पहिरो आइपुग्यो ठ्याक्क यता आउने त यता आउने त किन उता गएको त अनि उयो अगाडि तान्नु अगाडिसम्म आदि गर्नु यसलाई यहाँ छोड्दै पनि इपिकै आयो त है किरण त ध्यान हुने भयो के हुन्थ्यो Oh shit!
The guitar player wisely leaves the lake and heads for higher ground. When he eventually turns the camera back on the lake, now from a relatively safe distance, everything is lost in the snow. He doesn't end up being hit with much snow himself, but does feel the wind that accompanies such fast-moving snow. Towards the end of the video, you can see a very clearly defined rainbow over the lake. The cameraman later told news stations, "This was the most thrilling and awesome experience of my life. Luckily, I moved out of the way quickly, saving my life and my guitar." Davos is an alpine resort town in Switzerland. It's home to one of Switzerland's biggest ski resorts, as well as the yearly World Economic Forum. In order to keep the mountain safe, maintenance teams frequently trigger smaller, less harmful avalanches to clear piled-up snow. This is exactly what was supposed to take place on January 16, 2019, but fate had other plans. While the avalanche in this next video was expected, it ended up becoming much larger and traveling much further than expected. It didn't take long for the men filming the video to realize that there was no sign this thing was slowing down, and as they began to run away, were quickly engulfed in a wall of snow.
Yo! Oh shit, man. Fuck. Yo! Yo! Oh shit. Sollten wir echt in den Eck gehen? Ich glaube, wir sollten dran scheinen, nicht? Ja. Renati, mach mal die Türen zu! Oh shit! Yo! Oh shit! Yo! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
The video ends rather abruptly, but thankfully everybody was fine. The full purpose of a controlled avalanche is simply to prevent future avalanches. By creating smaller ones on purpose, you lessen the possibility for a larger and unpredictable one to occur. Explosives are usually what is used to get this job done, and they can be delivered by hand, by helicopter, or sometimes even by cannons and artillery. Intentionally causing avalanches is obviously the coolest way to prevent avalanches, but it isn't the only way. Passive preventive systems like snow fences and light walls can also be used to direct the placement of snow. Trees can also reduce the strength of avalanches. If you notice, there aren't many trees in these videos. Sometimes, trees are even planted in strategic places to prevent avalanches in places where humans will be. While this avalanche was big, it wasn't near the size as these next ones. Located in the southwestern part of Washington state is Mount Rainier. Not only is this mountain the tallest in the state, but it is also an active stratovolcano. Video shot all the way back in 1973 captured many massive avalanches on this mountain. There isn't a ton of information online as to whether or not these were controlled, but they sure packed a serious punch, tearing through trees as they cascaded down the mountain. In the video, you can see not just powder snow avalanches, but other, more dangerous kinds of avalanches. Slab avalanches form frequently in snow that has been deposited there by the wind. They look like a block of snow that was just cut out from the rest of its surroundings. You can also see wet snow avalanches in this archival Mount Rainier footage. Wet snow avalanches are low velocity and they're confined to the surface on the ground. The low speed of the snow is due to the friction between the surface of the track and the flow, which is highly saturated with water. While they are slower than other kinds of avalanches, this doesn't mean that they're safer. Their large mass makes up for their slow speed, kinda like an NFL linebacker. Avalanches are natural disasters that are easy to forget about. Most people don't live near an area where they occur. so they're often out of sight and out of mind. But hopefully, after seeing these videos, you have a better appreciation for the power and beauty that they hold. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, be sure to click the link on screen now. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.